New York Jets running back Bilal Powell AP Jets de Mohamed Wilkersons is active for the Jets' Week 7 game against the Dolphins despite a lingering toe and shoulder injury that has put his status in jeopardy early this season. The Jets will also welcome back RB Bilal Powell, who has recovered from a strained calf muscle. QB Christian Hackenberg, CB Derek Jones, RB Travaris Cadet, OLB Freddie Bishop, OLB Obum Gwasham, OL Jonathan Harrison, and Tay Jordan Leggett are inactive for the game, the team announced. Leggett suffered a knee injury this week. Wilkerson was listed as questionable for the game and was set to be a game-time decision. Jets coach Todd Bowles said this week that he contemplated resting Wilkerson to allow him to heal, according to the New York Post, but the team ultimately is allowing him to suit up. October 30, 2016, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. New York Jets offensive tackle Brandon Shell 72 during the second half against the Cleveland Browns at First Energy Stadium. The Jets won 3,128. Mandatory credit Scott R. Galvin USA Today Sports Scott Galvin Jets T. Brandon Shell left the team's game against the Marlins on Sunday with a neck injury and is doubtful to return, the team announced. October 8, 2017, Cleveland, Ohio, USA. New York Jets quarterback Josh McCown 15 congratulates wide receiver Jermaine Kearse 10 Scott Galvin Ralph Vacchiano Facebook Twitter Archive the game The Jets 33 versus the Miami Dolphins 32 at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, FLA, on Sunday, October 22 at 1 p.m. ET. The weather It will be hot, as usual, with temperatures in the mid-upper 80s. It will also be windy, with sustained winds of 1,520 meters (ph) expected. And as always in Miami, there could be some late afternoon thunderstorms that potentially could impact the second half of the game. Jonas Schwartz and Willie Colon look back at a tough loss to the New England Patriots. The guys discuss the brutal mistakes by the Jets which kept the Pats in the game, and the blown call at the goal line involving Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Plus, Jets defensive tackle Steve McClendon joins the show to talk about the struggles of Muhammad Wilkerson and Leonard Williams, and his role on the team. Later, Brian Costello of the New York Post calls in to give his take on the loss today, and how the Jets missed out on Deshaun Watson. Click below to listen. Vac's 3 keys to a Jets win. 000137 SNY NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano gives his 3 keys to a Jets victory over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. SNY NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano gives his 3 keys to a Jets victory over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. In the latest episode of Time Out with Taylor Rooks, former NFL running back Curtis Martin recalls some of the most dramatic moments of his life, including 2 near-death experiences, as well as his relationship with Bill Parcells, Bob Kraft, and the infamous trade that sent him from the Patriots to the Jets. Click below to listen. Geico Sports Night Jets vs. Miami 000154 with Muhammad Wilkerson likely a game-time decision to play Sunday. Gene Coakley talks to Leonard Williams about stepping up his game. New York Jets running back Bilal Powell AP Ralph Vacchiano Facebook Twitter Archive Florham Park, NJ. The last time the Jets had Bilal Powell in the lineup, at full strength, he ran all over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Forced into the lead back role with Matt Forte sidelined, he ran for 163 yards on 7.8 yards per carry, including a 75-yard touchdown run. He's back this weekend. Time for the Jets game in Miami on Sunday, and so is Forte, with both apparently as close to full strength as they're going to be. But the Jets can't revert to their old habit of splitting their backfield duties. They need Powell to carry the load. New York Jets defensive end Muhammad Wilkerson 96 Noah K. Murray Jets de Mohamed Wilkerson shoulder toe is questionable for Sunday's game against the Dolphins, and will be a game-time decision, head coach Todd Bowles said on Friday. Wilkerson played through his shoulder injury in weeks 4 and 5, and didn't practice throughout those weeks, so this might be the same scenario. However, Bowles added that the team has discussed the possibility of giving Wilkerson 1 or 2 weeks off. New York Jets tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins runs the ball against New England Patriots safety Deron Harmon during the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. Brad Penrose said Today Sports the Jets 33 take on the Dolphins 32 on Sunday in Miami at 1 p.m. Here's what's going on today. Need to know: the Jets are preparing for the trip to Miami, so there will be no media access at Florham Park on Friday. The entire term, apart from Muhammad Wilkerson, practiced without limitation yesterday, so they are in good shape for the road trip. SNY's Ralph Vacchiano will preview the game and send his 3 keys. Follow at @RVacchianosny on Twitter to keep up with all the happenings. Geico Sports Night. Jets defense 000125 Ralph Vacchiano reports in from Jets practice to address the question that is on everyone's mind: when will the Jets finally get a sack? Jenkins on overcoming addiction 000329 on Jets game plan. Tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins sits down with Gene Coakley to share about how he overcame his battle with addiction. New York Jets defensive end Muhammad Wilkerson 96 Noah K. Murray Ralph Vacchiano Facebook Twitter Archive Florham Park, NJ. On the day the Jets resigned Muhammad Wilkerson in the summer of 2016 to a blockbuster, 5-year, $86 million contract, they made it clear they were banking on him and not Sheldon Richardson. 14 months later, Richardson was traded. New York Jets running back Bilal Powell APRB Bilal Powell, who missed last week's game due to a calf injury, practiced on Thursday and will return when the Jets face the Dolphins on Sunday in Miami. Head coach Todd Bowles said the Muhammad Wilkerson shoulder toe was the only Jets player who didn't practice on Thursday. Bent, thejetsblog.com. Follow on Twitter. Powell should hopefully give a boost to the Jets' struggling running game, although I suspect the team's inability to get the running game going has more to do with how overmatched the Jets have been in the trenches. Ken Blasey may be one of the most productive tight ends in football at the moment, but Jets Tay Austin Seferian-Jenkins admits his career was taking a dive before joining the Green and White. Seferian-Jenkins has caught 23 passes over the last 4 weeks of the season. It could be more if he didn't have to serve a 2-game suspension that stems from his DUI arrest last September when he was with the Buccaneers. But ASJ doesn't mind the numbers. He is happy that he is still playing the game he loves in the first place. The Jets 33 take on the Dolphins 32 on Sunday in Miami at 1 p.m. Here's what's going on today. Need to know: the Jets practice today at Florham Park. Will Bilal Powell, Muhammad Wilkerson, or Robbie Anderson return to practice after sitting out on Wednesday? SNY's Ralph Vacchiano will be out at practice. Follow at @Vacchianisny on Twitter to keep up with all the happenings. DNL 2017 Jets season so far 000258. The DNL panel discusses the Jets season so far, including if Todd Bowles deserves more credit and which player has disappointed the most. Dennis Schneidler. The Jets featured many key players out during practice Wednesday, including RB Bilal Powell, the Muhammad Wilkerson, and WR Robbie Anderson. Powell, who is nursing a calf injury, stretched with the team, but he didn't participate in anything else. He already missed last week with the same injury. Wilkerson played through his shoulder injury in weeks 4 and 5. He didn't practice throughout those weeks, so this might be the same scenario for number 96. Daily News Live. Cool your Jets 000302. The DNL panel discusses how the controversial play and loss to the Patriots could affect the Jets' mentality going into Week 7. The DNL panel discusses how the controversial play and loss to the Patriots could affect the Jets' mentality going into Week 7. New York Jets safety Jamal Adams. Brad Penaroosa. Today Sports. The Jets 33 take on the Dolphins 32 on Sunday in Miami at 1 p.m. Here's what's going on today. Need to know: the Jets practice today at Florham Park. SNY's Ralph Vacchiano will be out at practice on Thursday and Friday. Follow at @Vacchianisny on Twitter to keep up with all the latest Jets news and rumors. Daily News Live: 000110 Willie Colon. Sources at the meeting between NFL owners and Roger Goodell on anthem protests say no progress was made Tuesday. SNY's Willie Colon said sources told him that players felt nothing was accomplished during a meeting on Tuesday between the NFL executives, players, and the NFL Players Association. Robert Deutsch. After a hot start to his rookie season, Jets' Jamal Adams became the latest victim of Patriots star Rob Gronkowski in the Jets' 2,417 loss on Sunday. Adams had troubles with Gronk from the beginning of the game. The Jets had a 140 lead when Patriots QB Tom Brady launched a ball toward the back of the end zone intended for Gronkowski. Adams made a play on the ball, but refs said that he made too much contact with the 6'6" tight end, resulting in a pass interference call. Dion Lewis would score on the next play, and Adams was still surprised as to why the refs threw the flag. October 15, 2017 East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Jets defensive end Leonard Williams. Brad Penner. Bent, thejetsblog.com. Follow on Twitter. The Jets gave a good account of themselves and, despite some glaring weaknesses, continue to prove that they're a more talented group than most people gave them credit for before the season. Let's break down the performances on the defensive side of the ball from the Jets' loss to the Patriots in Week 6. Defensive line. The defensive line once again didn't make any major contributions, with New England rushing for 118 yards at an average of 4.7 per carry and officially surrendering just 4 quarterback hits and no sacks. However, that was partly due to the Jets' game plan. They didn't blitz much, sending just 4 rushers on average. And some of the bigger runs they gave up came with pass defense personnel on the field or one of Leonard Williams and Muhammad Wilkerson on the bench. New York Jets head coach Todd Bowles' Ben Margo tapped the Jets 33 take on the Dolphins 32 on Sunday in Miami at 1 p.m. Here's what's going on today. Need to know the Jets are off today. SNY's Ralph Vacchiano will be out at practice on Thursday and Friday. Follow at @Vacchianosny on Twitter to keep up with all the latest Jets news and rumors. Daily News Live Ref up 000344. The Daily News Live panel discusses the controversial fumble call on Austin Seferian-Jenkins in the Jets' loss. New York Jets wide receiver Jalen Marshall 89 runs past Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Mike Thomas 13 in the second half at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit Robert Deutsch at Today Sports. The Jets assigned wide receiver Jalen Marshall to the practice squad on Monday after they waived him on Saturday. Marshall, who served a 4-game suspension for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs, was waived to make room for cornerback Xavier Coleman on the team's active roster for Sunday's 2,417 loss to the New England Patriots. The 22-year-old Marshall recorded 14 catches for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns in 10 games last season. He also returned 18 punts for 100 yards and 13 kickoffs for 324 yards. Brad Penner Ralph Vacchiano Facebook Twitter archive. The decision to turn an Austin Seferian-Jenkins touchdown on Sunday into a hard-to-explain fumble and touchback was a clear and obvious decision, according to the replay official who made the call. Al Rivera, the NFL's senior VP of officiating, strongly defended his call in a conference call with reporters on Monday morning, one day after it impacted the Jets' 2,417 loss to the New England Patriots. He said the reversal of the touchdown after a video review was absolutely the correct decision based on the rule, and he didn't see anything controversial about it. No doubt about it, it was clear and obvious, Rivera said. And we use that standard for every replay. Unless it's clear and obvious to us, we will not change the ruling on the field, and this definitely met that criteria. Robert Deutsch Jets QB Josh McCown got off to a hot start on Sunday, but couldn't hold on to the lead as the Patriots earned the win on the road. The Jets jumped to a quick 140 lead in the first half. However, the offense couldn't get anything going, allowing Tom Brady to do what he does best and get the Pats the lead back. Obviously we broke stride there and didn't keep pace the way we'd like, McCown told Jets.com's Eric Allen. We have some short yardage situations that we have to find a way to convert and be better at. We weren't converting and we were putting our defense right back out there. You can't give Tom Brady that many chances. October 15, 2017 East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Jets wide receiver Jeremy Curley 14 runs in for a touchdown against New England Patriots safety Daron Harmon 30. Brad Penner bent the JetsBlog.com follow on Twitter. While much of the attention from the Jets' loss to the Patriots will be focused on the controversial overturned touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Jets only have themselves to blame for giving up 24 unanswered points and letting New England back into the game. Nevertheless, they gave a good account of themselves and, despite some glaring weaknesses, continued to prove that they're a more talented group than most people gave them credit for before the season. The New York Jets cornerback Buster Skrine misses the catch during the first half against the New England Patriots at MetLife Stadium. Robert Deutsch Today Sports Ralph Vacchiano Facebook Twitter archive East Rutherford, NJ. The Jets sometimes seem like they've cornered the market on finding interesting new ways to lose. 5 years ago, it was the infamous butt fumble. This time, it was a fumble that maybe, probably, never was. But the differences between those two plays are as stark as the differences between those two teams. The butt fumble was an embarrassment on Thanksgiving 2012 that turned Mark Sanchez and the Jets into a national joke. The fumble by Austin Seferian-Jenkins on Sunday, the what fumble, as some have named it, wasn't funny to anyone.